Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of my F1 23 My Team career mode. This is part 30 of the series. If you didn't miss the last episode, it was a 5th career win for George Russell and it was actually a very easy victory for him in Qatar. And it was another podium for ourselves. It was a very hard fought podium, but we got the podium, and based on other incidents, we actually had a pile up at turn 1, and based on the other incidents we've had during the season, I was very surprised to see they did not bring out the red flag. As we now take a look at the performance charts, it is extremely close at the top between McLaren and Mercedes. Aston Martin's actually there up in P2, and then also the Red Bulls there, so there's really a top 4 fight there for top of the charts, and ourselves, we've dropped down to the second last fastest car as we continue to bank up R&D points just to try and ensure that we can keep our upgrades that we made during the seasons as we head into a new regulation change for Season 3 of this series. We're very close, actually, to completing the components that we need to, so it's all really just about saving those points. As now we head straight into our first practice program, the race strategy program, and we took that first lap. We had to get up to speed a little bit, but since then we were on the money and got the purple finish to it as we now head straight into our next program. And it took us 2 laps actually, so this is our second attempt at it, and it was very near perfect. It just missed one apex there to get it green in that one section. And now we're on the qualifying sim, so this should be really good, and we've actually had a bit of oversteer, and that has put us into the wall. So very, very strange incident actually. I was just trying to get onto the throttle nice and easy, and that threw us into the wall, and they're actually looking, I reckon we were actually pretty close to having an engine failure too, based on the amount of smoke that was coming out. So I knew the engine was warm, but I reckon that was within maybe a lap or two about to let go. So very disappointing in the end to not get that banker lap in to kind of know where our soft tyre pace is for qualifying coming up next. So very disappointing indeed. And now we take a look at the practice 1 results. So Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen were your top 3 in practice 1. Ourselves P19 in the end. Our fastest lap was actually done on the hard tyre than Alex Albon in P20s. Now we head straight into qualifying, and now this is going to be the end of our first flying lap. And as we round the final corner, we get onto the power, and we're going to be going across the line to put ourselves P4 for now. We're currently half a second off the pace of Sergio Perez, who's currently sitting P2. And now, look at this absolute traffic jam as everyone's trying to get themselves some clean space. I'm currently trying to just work out whether I want to be behind Pierre Gasly or this Ferrari of Carlos Sainz, who's currently leading. And Carlos actually just slams on the brake, so he definitely did not want to be leading anyone going down that main straight. So we kind of had to go, and unfortunately we're a bit too far back to get anything from that Alpine. But the lap is still going to be good enough to be about half a second up on our previous best to put us now P7. And as we come to the end of the first qualifying session, we're going faster again by another about half a second. So definitely finding plenty of time, and I was also using a fresh set of soft tires just to ensure that we did manage to make it into Q2, as I was looking a little bit touch and go there for a little bit. As now we take a look there, so Alex Albon also does make it into Q2 with Lando Norris being the fastest one as he sets the pace here in Q2 as well. And now coming across the line to finish our first flying lap here on actually worn tires. I'm using the same tires I did my fastest lap on in Q1, and that puts us P11 for now. And now coming through this fast sector 2, we actually lost the rear trying to push it and go faster, and that's Zhou. Zhou's driven straight across the top of our car. So I reckon Zhou's probably had nowhere to go, and essentially just T-boned us. As now we take a look here at a replay, so immediately as saw in the direction change, I lost the rear of the car, and yeah, Zhou Guan Yu just drove up the side of the car, looking on board with him now, and I lock it down to try and keep it out of the wall, but that just pretty much puts me into the path of a Zhou Guan Yu. And Sergio Perez there actually also very nearly got himself involved in nearly clipping the rear end of our car. So absolute disaster here in Mexico for our qualifying session. And so we will take no further part in this session. And George Russell, Carlos Sainz, and Lewis Hamilton are your top 3 here in qualifying too. Alex Albon unfortunately knocked out there in P13. He was only 0.3 of a second off making it into Q3. And unfortunately for ourselves, down in P15, they're ahead of Zhou Guan Yu.
Bienvenidos to the most populous city in North America. The legendary Jim Clark won the first official F1 race back in 1963 here, and we've had a veritable who's who of winners ever since. It's Mexico City, and therefore the Mexico City Grand Prix. At 2,285 metres above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners then make a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit. Expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking into the braking zones of Turn 1 and Turn 4. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Verstappen, Russell, Gasly, Perez, Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Albon, Bottas, the Rainmaster, Oscar Piastri, Joe, Iwasa, Sargent, Magnussen, Stroll, De Vries, Liam Lawson, and Yuki Tsunoda. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. They've had a fantastic campaign, a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
It really is well deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
Alright, so this is going to be a bit of an interesting one here, actually. So the default strategy is telling us to go from soft to mediums, but as I've said pretty much in every episode so far in this series, our car just for some reason loves the hard tyre. We have so much pace on that hard tyre, so opting to go for the medium tyre off the start there. And as you can see, around us, Alex Albon, Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu are all on the soft tyre. The only person that I can tell at the moment is also on the medium is Oscar Piastri, and I'm sure a lot of the leaders will also be on that medium tyre. So definitely looking like there's a couple of different strategies out there as now we line up onto the grid to try and get ourselves a purple finishing position, and it is going to be a fail. That's going to be our first one of the season, I reckon, actually, just slightly too far forward, so we're going to have to get reset here as now the lights are beginning to illuminate on the start line, and it is 5 lights, and we're away. And it is actually a pretty mediocre start for us, so there's really not too much here to gain. And the field is just bunching up so much here. We're just trying to find ourselves a little bit of space here. We're going along the grass nearly, and it's actually looking like it's going to open up just that a little bit for us to maybe try going around the outside. We go around the outside of Bottas, and then we also just end up having enough grip to try and go around the outside of Nico Hülkenberg, that is in the Aston Martin. We go 3 wide going through turn 3, and we actually get the better exit. So we're already finding ourselves now into P10, the points. And now as we take a look here, that is Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris battling it out, and behind him is Max Verstappen versus Carlos Sainz. So plenty of battles already happening. Now we're trying to be going around the outside. It's once again going to be 3 wide as we head into turns 4 and 5. And we've got ourselves the better exit coming out of turn 5. Are we going to be able to send it up the inside? At turn 6, we did, but we didn't quite get the exit that we were after. As now our teammate Alex Albon has actually gone past us here, going into the stadium section. So we're going to let him have it for now. He is on the soft tyre, and we're going to help and try and see if we can't defend a little bit for him. So as you can see that we've already lost over a second to our teammate, and now we're under attack from both Hülkenberg and Valtteri Bottas. So definitely going to be having a battles on our hands here to try and help Alex Albon to stay in the points for now. As there, I don't know if you noticed, we actually made a little bit of contact with Ocon, who was trying to show himself a little bit of a nose there going through into turn 3. Unfortunately, there just a little bit of contact was made. As now we're taking a look here, and this is Valtteri Bottas getting himself past Nico Hülkenberg. So battles are galore at the moment. As now we do a bit of an order check here. So it's Charles Leclerc leading the way from Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, who is your top 3 at the moment. Then it's Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Sergio Perez, Pierre Gasly up in P7. So excellent for him to be putting that Alpine where it is. And then it's Lewis Hamilton, our teammate, Alex Albon. He is in P9 at the moment. And then it's Valtteri Bottas in the Sauber, currently rounding out the points-paying positions. But now, if we take a look here, Nico Hülkenberg and myself, P11, P12, then Iwasa, Zhou, Ocon, currently battling it out. That looked like it was Zhou going for an audacious dive bomb on Ocon there, going into the stadium section. As now we'll take a look forward, actually, because this is going to be a change for the lead. It's going to be Lando Norris getting past Charles Leclerc. So Lando Norris, our championship rival at the moment, has put himself into the points. Oh, well, sorry, into the lead of the race, actually. Now Ocon has pulled into the pit, so he must have made a little bit of contact there somewhere along the lines. As now, this is a replay as while we're taking a look at Ocon in the points of Lewis Hamilton getting past Pierre Gasly. As there is now, another change for the lead of the race as Charles Leclerc reclaims the lead of the race here in Mexico. And just going past another lap, it is now Charles Leclerc under attack from Lando Norris. Norris is being pushed to the other side of the track as Leclerc goes a bit defensive, but Norris is going to get the job done before the braking zone. As now we jump back to our POV, and we're now within DRS of Nico Hülkenberg. But you can see up ahead, that's Alex Albon. He's trying to defend from Valtteri Bottas. Is Bottas going to be able to get himself up past our teammate Alex Albon? At the moment, it looks like Albon's defending quite well. For ourselves, we've actually now got the run on Nico Hülkenberg. We're going to switch it to the inside line to try and see if we can't push him out. Valtteri Bottas does manage to get past our teammate, so not looking very good in that case, and we managed to sweep around Nico Hülkenberg, give him a bit of a squeeze going through turn 5, as we now have to look at getting past our teammate to try and get ourselves past Valtteri Bottas as well, who seems to be on our paces. Now, there's a yellow flag behind us, and that looks like one of the Aston Martins has gone slow, and this is a replay of what's happened. So this is on board with Stroll, and he's going to get on the throttle, he's going to loop and actually hit the wall quite hard, so very lucky for him to not get too much damage from that, but he is going to be dropping a very far ways back, as we've actually made a massive mistake coming out of the last corner. We could not get the power down, and we just kept having to take snap after snap and trying to get the car to go straight. It's now Nico Hülkenberg's actually used that to his advantage and got herself overtaken. And up ahead, our teammate Alex Albon is looking to get past Valtteri here as well. So it's two Brabhams going around the outside of turn 1. We get the job done at turn 2. They give us a good run for turn 3. And it looks like Alex Albon's going to remain side by side. So could Alex actually help us out a little bit here by holding up Valtteri just enough for us to slide down the inside somewhere? Valtteri's hung out wide just a little bit. We're going to go for a cutback here and try and send it down the inside of turn 6. We get so much better traction on Valtteri there, and we get an easy pass done at turn 6. And now that is us back into the points, and now it's Brabham Meguiars P9, P10. So can we keep it like this for a little bit? It will remain like that for a little bit to come, but it looks like we're going to be trying to go around the outside of our teammate. We get the job done, and it gives us a little bit of an awkward entry. Actually, we were that shallow, so a little bit off the track on the exit, but it's job done either way. Brabham Meguiars still remaining P9, P10, just with position swapped. As now Lando Norris is making another overtake for the lead of the race here. So plenty of lead changes here in Mexico. As now this is Nico Hülkenberg. Unfortunately, he's now making an overtake on our teammate Alex Albon, who's going to be dropping outside of the points at the moment. But hopefully through this pit stop window, he's going to be able to make up some ground. Just hopefully. As now we take a look here, the first of the leaders is pulling into the pit. Charles Leclerc is taking the opportunity to try and get a bit of an undercut here, actually. As now we jump back to our POV, and we're currently on lap 18, and we're getting very close to our pit window behind us. And there is actually a yellow flag, and it looks like it's going to be for Nico Hülkenberg. There's an Aston Martin starting to go a little bit slow, and there it is, up on the screen, confirmed. It is Nico Hülkenberg out of the session. So I wonder what's happened to Nico Hülkenberg. Here is a replay, and it is an engine failure. So very unfortunate for Nico, who was looking very good in the points. As now Lando Norris is coming into the lane, so the race leader is in, and so is a large chunk of cars, actually. That looks like the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz and the Red Bull of Max Verstappen have both come in. For ourselves, we're now boxing. It's the end of lap 18. We lock it all up going onto the white line there, making sure that we do not speed going into the pit lane. And this is going to be our one and only stop here to try and go onto the hard tyres. Pierre Gasly is actually very close to hitting the back of us, so that was very nearly an unsafe release from the Alpine crew. It was a optimal pit time there, 2.3 seconds, so very good job there from the boys and girls in the team there to get those tyres swapped nice and cleanly. And for ourselves, we're now exiting the pit lane. We're going to remain ahead of Valtteri Bottas, who's already made his pit stop, so no undercut there for Valtteri. And now this is Max Verstappen going for an overtake on Oscar Piastri. So Oscar Piastri actually started further back from us, if you remember. He had to take an engine penalty. And so he's currently trying to do a bit of a different strategy here to try and see if he can't get any sort of recovery points done and minimize the damage in the championship. He's currently sitting P4 in the championship standings. And after Max Verstappen overtakes him, he does eventually pull into the pit lane. As now, this is Alex Albon, our teammate. He is going for an overtake here on Valtteri Bottas around the outside of turn 1. Gives him the inside for turn 2. But he's going to have to stay around the outside at turn 3. But he's going to be getting DRS here to help him finish off this move here. But look who's behind him right there. It's Iwasa. So in that Williams is looking very good around this circuit at the moment, at least in the hands of Iwasa. sitting P12. And so now Sergio Perez makes an overtake here on his teammate Max Verstappen. This will put him up into P4, and hopefully within touching distance for himself to try and get onto the podium to get past George Russell here. So the two Red Bulls battling it out to try and see who can chase down George Russell here. As now this is going to be another lead change. So Charles Leclerc managed to get the jump on Lando Norris through the pit phase, but it's going to be Lando Norris getting himself back into the lead of the race. So could this be Lando's day to possibly retake the lead of the championship with us struggling a bit? And there's a yellow flag ahead of us. Is this going to be Pierre Gasly going slowly? It is an Alpine who's traveling slowly, and it is Pierre Gasly. So this is going to be a free overtake for us as he's suffering from an engine failure. So 2 engine failures here today in Mexico so far, as it is now confirmed that Pierre Gasly's out of the session. So that's our second retirement so far this race. As now we take a look here at Carlos Sainz, he's going to be looking to try and get himself past Max Verstappen to put him inside the top 5. He's going to go around the outside, use all of the curb there on the entry. He has to hang out around the outside of turn 1, gives him the inside of turn 2, around the outside of turn 3. And is he going to get the better exit? Yes, he is, and he's also going to be getting DRS to try and help him there. And Max Verstappen should be very careful here because Lewis Hamilton is right there as well. So as we now take a look on board with Oscar Piastri, who's going to be looking to try and get himself past Valtteri Bottas here to put him into the points. He can't get it done going into the same section, so he has to continue going around the outside. A bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there between the two. As now it looks like Valtteri's actually going to keep it around the outside. So this is excellent battling here. Valtteri Bottas is not going to let him off that easy in the fastest car on the grid there. As now we take a look here, it's Iwasa. Iwasa has come absolutely out of nowhere. He's got DRS. They're going to make it 3 wide going down the main straight. Is Iwasa going to be able to get all 2 of them here down the one straight? He's going to keep it down the inside going into turn 1. He's currently in the points in a Williams, but he's going to be Oscar Piastri. He's going to hang out around the outside at turn 3, and he's going to get the better exit. And that is going to be Oscar Piastri up into P10, Iwasa P11, Valtteri Bottas P12. And there is going to be yet another lead change here. This is going to be Charles Leclerc going for the lead of the race of the Mexican Grand Prix. He's going to get the move done very early into the braking zone. As now, Lewis Hamilton is also looking to get himself past Max Verstappen. He's going to get it done going up the inside at turn 1, and he actually kind of kicked out the rear end a little bit there, so very lucky he didn't lose it, trying to get back onto the throttle there between turns 1 and 2. And now this is going to be Oscar Piastri. He is overtaking Alex Albon, so our teammate now demoted to P10. Hopefully he can remain P10. He's got a little bit of a gap there to Valtteri Bottas, but it's going to be Charles Leclerc who comes across the line to win the Mexican Grand Prix. It is Charles' first race win since Australia this season, so it's been a long time coming for him. We're going to cross the line in P8, so our podium streak of 7 podiums in a row unfortunately comes to an end here in Mexico, but it was a streak very well done, and Oscar Piastri claims driver of the day.
From Ferrari. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
And there we have it. That is the Mexican Grand Prix here for Season 2. It was a 10th career win for Charles Leclerc here in Mexico. Lando Norris also claims very crucial points for himself to get himself a bit closer to us in the Drivers' Championship. And for ourselves, as I mentioned before, that is our podium streak now over. Now, as we take a look here at the race results, so Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, then then Max Verstappen P7, ourselves P8, Oscar Piastri P9, and Alex Albon P10, finally claiming some points for Brabham Meguiars. And now, as we take a look here at the drivers' standing, so ourselves, we still lead the Drivers' Championship by 5 points over Lando Norris, so it's so tight. And then Russell, he's been very quiet the past couple of races, claiming a couple of wins and a few podiums. Didn't even realise, but that podium has now put him 9 points behind us in the championship. So the top 3, less than 10 points in it. And Alex Albon has moved himself up into P18.
in the Drivers' Championship after claiming that point, finishing P10 today. McLaren continues to lead the Constructors' Championship by 42 points over Mercedes and Brabham. We find ourselves P4, 26 points behind Ferraris. Now, we're back in the HQ, nothing really to report in on as it's getting towards the end of the season. We're still trying to bank up those R&D points to help keep those upgrades for the new regulation change next season, and that will be all for this episode. So if you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one when we head to Brazil. See ya.